MEC and his delegation, we need to start with the meeting. So I'm declaring this meeting officially open. And welcoming you as the department, as we usually do. We'll always make sure that at regular interval we meet in this session where we are able to interface. We get reports from yourself, MEC, and the department, inclusive of our implementing agent RAL. We are meeting today after we presented all the reports that were presented and discussed in this meeting in the legislature. Last week we were able to present the adoption of the reports by the legislature, which was done successfully. So we've been in recess as the portfolio committee, but we know that yourself, MEC, you never rested together with the department. We've been at work, which we need to appreciate at the portfolio committee. So today we are here as per the invitation, and we need to appreciate your commitment. Every time you are invited, you avail yourself, in particular yourself, MEC. You make sure that you are there, and that's something that we need to appreciate, and it makes our work very easy as the portfolio committee. That even when there are critical questions that the portfolio committee are supposed to raise, you are there, you respond, you also guide the department. The same applies to your HOD. We need to be appreciated that we are all at work to make sure that we save the people of Limpopo, in particular in relation to the roads that are needed most. Of course, we know that had it not been of the budget constraint as the department, our wish was to make sure that we deal with all the outstanding roads in this province. Of course, then the budget constraint, we don't have enough budget to can do that. But the little budget that we have, MEC, we can see it is being utilized for the benefit of all people. But that is something that we need to encourage. And one thing that you must know, MEC, that this portfolio committee appreciate the work that we are doing, and we will always be there for you as the deploy cadre. So with that, any waste of time, let me indicate that you are all welcomed. Item 2, the coordinator, attendance and apologies.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me start by recognizing the Honorable MEC, HOD, as well as the board members present, CEO, fellow colleagues, and again, welcome to the committee members. On my side, with regards to apologies, I do have 2 apologies. The one apology is Honorable Jack, who unfortunately or fortunately is attending the oversight visit with agriculture, so he's unable to be here. And then the second apology is Honorable Sepuru, who also has organizational commitments. On my side, Chairperson, those are the only apologies received. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move straight to item 3, confirmation of the agenda. Honorable members, there is the agenda which is presented. Let's check the confirmation of the agenda. Honorable Pokone. Any second? Honorable Honorable, thank you. Thank you very much. So then that is the agenda that is going to also, guide our interaction. So item 4 is the introduction of the new researcher. I should actually indicate to the MEC and the department that we have got the new researcher, the researcher that we were working with, Maria, has been changed to another department, to another portfolio committee. Now we have a new researcher by the name of M.M. Chosi. Can you raise your hand? This is our new researcher, meaning that on MEC, then in terms of the portfolio committee interacting with your office, this is the researcher. So the staff complement of the MEC will be working with this new researcher. So it's a matter of proceeding with the work that we had already done. Also in terms of the outstanding issues, then the new researcher will follow them up with your administration, MEC. And thank you very much. So without much ado, maybe to indicate upfront that we'll make sure that by 13:30, must have concluded our meeting, to give space for MEC to proceed with other commitments. That was the plea from the MEC, and we want to assure the MEC that will make sure that your program is not disrupted. After this meeting, then we're going to release you so that you proceed with other engagements. Business of the day, 5.1.1. Then in terms of our agenda here, we are starting with the department, with the first quarter report of the department. Thereafter, it will be RAR. Over to you, MEC. I haven't forgotten the item of introduction. No, we no longer, we know each other. Hey, even actually some of your team, I know them by names. We're able to communicate wherever we meet. We're able to, to greet each other. So then, over to you, MEC.
No, thanks very much, Chair. My name is Ernest Rashid Akanatari, the MEC responsible for public relations and infrastructure in Limpopo. So, Chair, let me start by greeting you as the chair of our portfolio committee, our honorable members that are here, a very supportive committee of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure. And our colleagues from the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, as led by the HOD, colleagues from RAL, as led by the board chair here, Mr. Tsedi, as we also, Chair, take this opportunity to welcome our new researcher, Mr. Choshi, and all of us in this meeting feel welcome. Chair, through you, please allow me to then request the HOD to take us through the presentation. Okay. HOD.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, and greetings to the Honorable Chair of the committee and also the Honorable members, the Chairperson of RAL and the Acting CEO, and everyone in the committee. Good morning. I'm going to be very brief. I'm going to talk to the first quarter performance of the department, and I think when we were presenting the APP, we were able then to demonstrate the linkage between our APP and other key strategic documents, including the Limpopo Development Plan. But in terms of our achievements, if we can go to slide number 7, is our summary of performance per program, where we are now sitting at 65%, Honorable Chair, in terms of our summary of performance. And if we go per program, those that we did not achieve 100%, we have financial management. We have one variance there, properties and facilities. Also, we have one variance, and district coordination, and we'll also talk to district coordination and how to deal with it moving forward. Expanded public works program, we also have one, and on roads we'll talk to the 4 that we were not able to achieve in the first quarter. And in total, we have 8 targets that we have achieved. That we didn't achieve, we achieved 15, and we're supposed to have achieved 23 of our targets in the first quarter. And percentage, we're sitting at 65%. Slide 8 is just a graphical presentation of those numbers that I was talking to now. If we compare year to year, quarter to quarter, in slide 9, or on slide 9, we are at 65% in 25-26 financial year. And in the last financial year, this time around, we were at 62% of our quarterly performance. In terms of the targets that were achieved, which were not planned, we have one under property and facilities management, number of utilization of inspections conducted for office accommodation. And we did 4 that was not planned, and this was due to the request that we received from our user departments, and we had to go then and do those inspections there. In terms of the areas of non-achievement, the first one is on financial management, where in terms of our quarterly target, we're supposed to be at 10 million, or to have collected 10 million, 10.8 million, but we collected around 10.3 million, and that was due to the bus interface, whereby the bus version 5 was not yet captured on bus version 6, and there have been challenges there, where we've been also talking to National Treasury. But as we speak now, that has been resolved. We don't have those issues, and even now, I think in our fourth month of the financial year, we're able to reach our target and even exceeded what we targeted for revenue. On property and facilities, we have two quarterly targets where we're not able to achieve, and discussions are going on between the user departments, where the deviation was that there was an addendum to the lease agreement that was not fully signed, and it is still signed by one party, which is us, due to some clarities that are needed by the user department, and this will soon also be resolved. And on the minor maintenance on the facilities or facility not completed, I think this year it was more of our discussions with the Department of Education to give RAL an off-site storage, and that has since been realized now as we are starting the second quarter in terms of that non-achievement. On district coordination, Honorable Chairperson, we launched the program, and the Honorable MEC has welcomed 36 learners that are part of this program. But as we started the program, 2 exited the system. And hence we're saying there is one target maybe that we have not met. But in our discussions, the target is not necessarily the number of the contractors contractors appointed on the learner contractor development program. But it's mainly that we are having that program is running. And I think we'll have then internally to also discuss in terms of how we deal with that, because the withdrawal of the 2 was not necessarily in our control, and we still have 34 that are there that are actually working, even the 2 that has actually withdrawn. On the expanded public works program, on the number of work opportunities created by the Provincial Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, our target was 1,092. And we are sitting at 1,043. And here is more on the delays in finalizing the recruitment processes with some of our sitters and also our construction sitters, as we also depend on them to take over some of the learners as they assist us in paying the stipend there. But we are hoping that in the second quarter this will have been concluded, and we'll be able to then reach those numbers that are there with our discussions with our sitters there. On roads infrastructure, and here is where I think we've been having a lot of discussions as the department, where we see the number of square meters of surfaced roads rehabilitated, that were sitting at 34.5 thousand instead of being at 50,000. And we're saying the delays in implementing the rehabilitation projects. And also the next one is similar on the number of square meters of surface roads resurfaced, where we are having a target of 100,000 and we're sitting at 68,250, and the delays in implementing preventative maintenance projects. And the corrective measures there were saying to fast track the implementation of the MOU with Roads Agency Limpopo. Just to mention that we are implementing the MOU, and we signed this MOU with RAL because when we were here, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, we did mention that the budget now, it is with the Department of Public Works, and mainly for rehabilitation and also for roads maintenance. But what we did then in the very same process, to also improve our upgrades in the province, we had to then look into our PRMG, where we are then allowed by the Division of the Revenue to use 25% of the PRMG towards upgrades or upgrading roads from gravel to tar. And that 25% has actually assisted us a lot, that hence we see now that the Honorable MEC has been welcoming contractors and introducing the contractors in our province, where we then try to improve on roads. And we are going to do the same also with roads maintenance. That will be requesting RAL to assist us for the current financial year to a certain extent to implement some of our maintenance projects. And all these discussions that we had, they have also slowed down our spending a little bit, and we'll see that when we talk to our finances. But I think we are comfortable in terms of the work that we are currently doing. And I mean, through the very same MOU and even the 21 roads that we have just appointed now, we know where are the projects, and we are also even able to follow in terms of progress on the ground, and the same will apply then to the maintenance as well. Then I was just talking to the two where we're having non-achievement. And on a number of full-time equivalent, we were supposed to be at 821, we're at 515, sorry. And that is number of work days reduced due to budgetary constraints, and increased number of working days in the net projects to cover the shortfall. And that is the corrective measure. The last one on non-achievement is the number of youth that we have 18 to 35 employed, and 1,650 is our target, and we achieved 1,606. And we have seen lately young people leave the project for greener pastures because we don't also limit in terms of the qualifications. Those that are ready to assist and to come into the program, as you'll have those that will normally be doing your roads work, and there are those that will push paperwork and so on. But some do exit, but will prioritize the appointment of youth again in the coming quarter to balance these numbers. Now, I spoke about the spending in the department now, Honorable Chair. And you will see in the first quarter, we are sitting at 16%, with administration being at 23%, and infrastructure operations at 15%, EPWP. I think we did well there together with administration. But on roads infrastructure, we are sitting at 15%. And most of our projects on roads are picking up as we then have this 21 that have been appointed that are taking just above 500 million of our budget. And currently we are working towards appointing for the maintenance together with Roads Agency Limpopo, as I've already spoken to that. And in this coming quarter, our spending is going to then increase there due to that. And on infrastructure operations, on that budget of 1.2 billion, we are sitting at 15%. And also here, mainly these are the projects that we are implementing within the department, where we are actually having a direct control as the Department of Public Works. And in this coming quarter, we'll also see our spending improving, But Chair, just to maybe confirm and say that our budget that we are implementing, even with the projects that we have earmarked for the legislature, mainly the legislature, and I think the total budget there was sitting at around, or is sitting at around 207 million. Most of those projects were confirmed when we were tabling the budget now, and we find ourselves planning and implementing at the same time. But come September, we'll start to see contractors taking site, and that spending also improving there. And I know we've been in discussions here with our Honorable MEC to say we have to really improve our spending, and we are working on that as the department. And in terms of the economic classification, I think mainly are the issues that I've already spoken to there. On our COE, we are sitting at 23%, and this I know that it will improve as we are welcoming the new cohort again come next month of September, and we have also advertised positions again now as we spoke. So as we are speaking, so there is this target that we are also chasing as the department, as we are having mostly the employees that are also going on retirement. But the speed of appointments is more than that one of those that are going on retirement. We have improved as the department in that regard. On goods and services also is mainly because of our projects that are also taking the budget from the goods and services, but in this quarter will be improving in terms of our plans that we have put on our table. The budget for RAL is sitting at 958 million. We've been doing very well there. We are sitting at 29% of our spending as the department. And the next slide, 25, is that a graphical presentation of what we have already spoken to now. On our conditional grants, on slide 26, which is also part of what we're trying to explain now, EPWP was sitting at 14%, and this is just due to the intake that has just started now in the new financial year. As we already we have mentioned that there are others that are still going to come in, but we don't see any challenges in terms of spending on the EPWP. And even on the PRMG, Provincial Roads Maintenance Grant, that 500 million of that, or above 500 million of that, it will be going into the new roads or the upgrades that we are currently implementing as contractors are taking sites now, and also will be appointing now in this quarter maintenance projects, and also internally our fog spray projects and other blacktop patching will be gaining momentum. That is where we are. I think that is our presentation from the department side, Honorable Chair, and we are recommending that the members of the Portfolio Committee note the first quarter performance report of the department for 2025-26 financial year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No, thanks.
Oh, sorry.
Are you allowing us, Chair, through you to give it to RAL, then we couple them, or we take them one by one?
Proper.
All right.
Couple them.
Okay.
Then honorable will give honorable members space to raise questions.
No, highly appreciated. Who's going to present on behalf of RAL? All right. Thanks.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, and to honorable members. Good morning, Honorable MEC, the HOD of the department, our chairperson of Roads Agency Limpopo, and the acting CEO, as well as colleagues. This is the presentation on Q1 performance of the agency. That is from April to June. Chair, with your permission, allow me to go straight into the crux of the presentation, and that is the slide that gives the overall performance for the quarter, which is the next. In this quarter, the agency has been able to achieve 82% of its performance targets, and 18% is the amount that it fell short in this quarter. I will, on the next slide, break down the performance in terms of the programs. Program 1, which is administration, achieved 83% of their targets. That is on the bottom right graph, and 17% was not achieved, and that is achieving 5 targets out of 6. And with regard to Program 2, the achievement level there was 82%, and 18% was not achieved. And that translates to 9 targets out of 11. That is the overall summary of the performance. And one will just highlight on the next slide for the, under Program 2, the performance targets that were not achieved. That is under 3.1, that is the amount spent on employing laborers, and also 4.1, right at the bottom of the table there, that is the training of local workers. The detail would be in the next slides. I will request, through your permission, Chair, to move right along and focus on the performance targets that have not been achieved in Program 2. That would be the 2 targets that I've just highlighted. And the first one is on the next slide, which is the amount spent on employing laborers. The target for the quarter was 8.49 million, and we have been able to spend 5.1 million for the quarter. And the main reason there was that the projects that were earmarked to start in Q1 were not able to start. As a planned intervention, the projects will be commencing with construction in Q2, and this will increase the outputs in terms of amounts paid to laborers. The second target that I've mentioned that was not achieved is right at the bottom of this table. If we go right to the bottom, that is the number of local workers trained. Now, the accredited training service providers were already in place and appointed in many of the projects as listed in the presentation. However, implementation plans were delayed in different projects due to recruitment of more local labor force. The training of these laborers will take place once the highest number of laborers have been employed in each project. We would not want to leave out some of the laborers who could benefit by training before we reach the maximum employment numbers. The planned intervention for Q2. Just the targets there. The target was 76. For the quarter, we were aiming to train 76 local laborers, and we achieved to train 45 out of that. The training will be conducted during Q2, effectively from July 2025, which we have already started with. and we hope that by most of these projects will be ready to conduct training, as service providers are already appointed and ready to do the construction, Chairperson. From this point onward is the finance report that our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Mahopa, will take us through. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, honorable members and honorable MEC and colleagues. So I'll be taking you through finance. In terms of finance, we just note the budget allocation for the financial year, which is sitting at 958 million, a major reduction compared to the previous financial year because of the maintenance that have been transferred back to Public Works. So something that you can also note is the spending at the end of Q1, where we spend, our spending on the infrastructure is sitting at 180. Sitting at 151 million, and then we also have 37 million, which is spending on the admin. All in all, the total spending is 189 million, and which account for 79% of the budget for a quarter. So we also, in Q1, in terms of the split of the road budget allocation, 55% of it goes to road upgrade, which is 83 million, and 45% goes to road maintenance. The split will be going down as the year progresses because maintenance projects have been taken to Public Works. Toward the end of the financial year, the picture will be more on the road upgrade as compared to the split that we are having now. As far as the total commitment is concerned, at the end of Q1, the commitment was sitting at just over 2 billion, a huge reduction from 3.9 billion that we had at the end of the financial year. But the commitment will be going up from Q2 because we made appointments, especially of the 21 project that have been talked about, that will increase our commitment. So commitment went down mainly because we didn't have most of the procurement that happened in Q1. So as far as coming to the admin side, our budget allocation for the admin program is 228 million, and the major portion of that go to the COE. And in the Q1, our spending on the program 1, which is admin, was sitting at 37 million, which is 65% of the budget. And the huge underspending in that area was on the COE as indicated, which account for major portion of the budget allocation under admin. So we also indicating the number of projects that have been planned to be procured, which are 28, of which 17 relate to road infrastructure. And those 17 have already been appointed. They relate to the road upgrade. And also there is one road RAMS project, which we're planning to procure in the current financial year. And that will contribute significantly towards improvement as far as the accounting and financial reporting side is concerned. So on the AG action plan, cumulative AG action findings that we're reporting on as 67, of which 48% have been resolved. So the main reason for some of the findings that have not been resolved is because of the project that have been taking very long to be completed, which are ongoing. Some have been stopped. But as we resume them, some of those findings will be able to deal with those findings. So we also noting the irregular expenditure that has been incurred in Q1 of the financial year, where it actually increased. So coming to the next slide. So this is basically the breakdown of what I've talked about in terms of the program 1. Within the program 1, we have got, there is program 1, but there is also admin within program 2, which relate to the non-infrastructure incurred within the program 2, which is the road infrastructure. But all in all, as indicated, our spending in quarter 1 was sitting at 79%. So when I go to the next slide, what I can just highlight in this slide, there are only two things, which is the infrastructure partnership as well as ZCC interchange. On the infrastructure partnership, the 5 million is the budget for the steel bridge, where the contribution from the mines, there was a shortfall, and we had the additional funding, of which were allocated 5 million in the current financial year. And this is meant for that, and the project is ongoing. We're just waiting for the mine to request the funds. We should be able to spend this 5 million. There is also a budget of 125 million of ZCC interchange, where we are expecting a huge underspending by the end of financial year. This is the project that is done jointly by RAL and SANRAL, and the completion of actually the procurement of the contractor is expected towards the end of financial year. So that's why we're expecting a huge underspending in this. And there may be possible transfer back to Treasury, and hopefully, and then we'll get it back in the coming financial year. And these have been happening in the previous financial year as well. The project had been taking very long to be completed. So on the strategic partnership, in quarter 1, there is 2 agreements that have been, one has been concluded with MC Mining for the amount of 32 million for the road in Makhato and Messina local municipalities. There's also another one that is towards completion, where the amount is not yet finalized. So it will be, the final amount will be established when the agreement is concluded. As far as the total value of projects that have been subjected to, that were part of the strategic partnership, since the inception of the project, the value of road that have been constructed, the amount to 1.5 billion, of which RAL contributed 871 million, and the remaining balance of 672 million came from the strategic partners. So in the next slide, I think this is where I talk about the AG action plan and implementation. You can be able to see the area in particular where I talk about the project that are taking very long to be completed. You see the 0 in terms of progress on the engineering. This is mainly the projects which have been stalled, most of them because of budget which have been depleted. And there is also instances of where there are policies that need to be updated, which contributed to most of the findings relating to the human resource management. I think that will be the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks very much, CFO. From our side, the Honorable Chair, that's where we are in terms of our presentations. Thanks. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, MEC. And, the department, inclusive of RAL, for the wonderful presentation. Now I'll open for the honorable members to raise questions or comment. And logically, let's start with the department. Got a report. Honorable Lope, yes, and the Honorable Help. And then Pokwane, Honorable Pokwane.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Greetings to the MEC and his entourage, honorable members. Chair, my question is regarding to the reduction of budget allocation for the road infrastructure. It is a cause of concern, Chair, due to the backlog that we have in our province. So then, may the department please explain to us the decline of this budget so that we can as well understand the reasons for the decline. The second question, Chair, is with regard to the penalties. During the presentation, I heard that I just heard, there is a 3,000, I don't know if it is 3,000 or 3 million of the overdue of penalties. So then the question is this overdue budgeted for? If not, what is going to happen? And is this man-made? Because, Chair, you find that, just to give an example, you find that there is a money that was supposed to be paid, or ESCOM, just to give an example, and if not paid, there are penalties. So maybe I just need a clarification, or who is supposed to pay this if it is not man-made. If it is man-made, the person that was supposed to do his work, if not, he or she must be the one who's supposed to pay the penalties. But this is up to the department to explain. Yeah, my last issue in the department is about the 7% spending of the grant. I just heard the HOD explaining, but that is not of our interest as the portfolio committee, because what we want is service delivery. And we don't want a situation whereby money is returned back because of non-spending. So this 7% of grant spending, we're not fine with it, and maybe will be explained if they're still going to have strategies to pick up the money during this financial year. But it must be noted, Chair, that we don't want money to be returned back. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson. Good morning to our MEC, our HOD, Chairperson of RAL, Acting CEO of RAL, all the staff members coming with you. Thank you very much for your time. I know you are all very busy, and we really appreciate that you are here. And again, also a good morning to all the committee members. Chairperson, I have a few questions. The first one is I've wrote some letters to both RAL and the department, and then I ask you also to assist me to get the information. Unfortunately, I haven't not received the information. Let me explain to you why this is important. The communities keep on asking me about roads and the quality. Now, I don't want to give the telephone numbers of either the MEC or our HOD to community members, because then you will never sleep. So they call me, but then I need answers. So it's really important that the department must also assist me with the information, because I also want to protect them, that thousands of people don't start calling them. So please help me out. It's also difficult for me if I receive late at night calls about roads. It's also difficult for me. The most important question I want to ask today is the mandate between the Department of Public Works and RAL. So I need to understand exactly what is the department going to do and what is RAL going to do. And that has to do with the legal requirements or the legal framework in which RAL is working. So if we look at the Limpopo Province Road Agency Propriety Limited and Provincial Road Act of 7 of 1998, and it was amended by Act 3 of 2001, Chapter 1 said that RAL will be established. So that's the law that actually put RAL in place. There will be a provincial road agency for the province for the purpose of taking charge of the financing, management, control, planning, development, maintenance, and rehabilitation of the provincial road system. And then in Chapter 2, functions, powers, and responsibility of the agency, said that there are specific functions allocated to the agency. And it says in subsection 1, the agency within the framework of government policy is responsible and is hereby given power to perform all strategic planning with regard to the provincial road system, as well as the planning, design, construction, operation, management, control, maintenance, and rehabilitation of provincial roads for the province. And in subsection 3 said, except insofar as the Act provides otherwise, the responsibility and capacity to perform the functions mentioned in subsection 1 are entrusted to the agency only. So I'm a little bit confused when things have been taken away, but the law is still there. Now I know our head of the department it said in the strategic plan 25-2030 that one of the purposes or one of the goals for this specific time period is the implementation of EXCO decision to repeal, not amend, repeal the RAL Act, MOA, and governance structure. So I think we must really as a committee be informed. What does that mean practical? Because if we see how the budget have been slashed, then I need to understand exactly what is the mandate between those two entities, the department and RAL. I also have a question about administration, about the basic accounting system. Why was there a problem that we still use the old one and then there was a new one? Was there not good communication between Treasury and our department? Because now our department looks bad, and I was wondering if there was a different reason. That Treasury implemented, but our department was not privileged to have the information beforehand. And then just a question, what does full-time equivalence mean? And then another administrative question that I'm concerned about is the lease agreements that are not signed. Now, our department said they've signed their side. So I'm worried about the other departments. Isn't there a way that we can engage with the other departments? We need to know who are these departments that doesn't want to sign. Because now our performance are bad, but it's somebody else that caused that, and I think we must follow up on that. Then I think everybody will agree that this quarter was not good for either the Department of RAL. Our performance was really not good. The next question is, there were 21 contractors appointed. Who are those contractors and for which roads? And the 500 million rand that was allocated to these contracts, is this for the budget from the department or RAL? Then if we look at the budget, we see that there is a high increase in admin costs. We need to understand why is that going up while we need construction on the ground, because our roads are really not in a very good condition. And that's why I'm worried that the road infrastructure decreased with 9.66%, especially in the light of the massive backlog that we have. So we need to, if they can please just give us an idea, what are the plans to at least keep the backlog constant so that we don't slide backwards further. And then if we look at the implementation of the conditional grant, Chairperson, it's excessively difficult to catch up later in the year. And I know our department plan. Look, Treasury forced us to plan for 3 years in a 3-year cycle. If we don't spend in Q1 of this year, it means it's going to influence everybody in a 3-year cycle. So we really need to look at this and say, is there anything we can do to prevent this at all cost again? Because one of the worst things that can happen to us is that money must be returned to Treasury. It will be really bad because the people will be so angry because roads is one of those very key infrastructure components in the whole life of people in Limpopo. Remember, if there's a bad road, then people will have accidents. Then we impact directly on the performance of the Department of Transport and Community Safety. And we will impact directly through injury and death on the Department of Health. So for me, this is really critical that we don't also act in such a way that we influence negatively the other departments. So we really need to find a way to understand that this is really important. Then we need to have a view of the MIU between the department and RAL, and we need that ASAP because we are already finished with the first quarter. and we really need to understand what is going to change really. I think that is really very important. Because this MOU, there's a few times in the report it said, because of that MOU, this can't happen. I think it said twice in the report, and that is very critical that we need to understand that. Part of my last question is about the physical progress on the ground, the road resurfacing. If we look at the way that we actually do the implementation of what we said we're going to do, and we are so far behind, and the rainy season is coming, then I see we are really in trouble, because we are behind with road surfacing, the patching and all that, and we await a rainy season. I don't know if it's going to rain a lot or not, that I can't say. But even if it's a little, we know the impact of rain on roads, and we know the impact of rain on construction. So our MEC have just appointed 21 construction companies to do things. Now, if it started to rain, it's going to delay those projects. So we really need to make sure that we are not behind with this. Chairperson, for now, it's all my questions on the department.
Thank you very much. Honorable Pokwane.
No, thanks, Chair. Greeting once more to yourself, honorable members present here, the MEC, HOD, the RAL leadership, and the entirety of the entourage, as well as our support staff. Chair, let me appreciate the presentations made by both the department as well as RAL. I would only raise some few questions, basically because my colleagues have dealt with other issues that I might have wanted to deal with. Maybe just to take the issue of the MOU further, the MOU between the department as well as RAL, which has been indicated that it might have arrested some progress in terms of implementing of some of the projects. I just want to know what makes it difficult for both the department and RAL to ensure that they are able to address and deal with the matters of the MOU and have it finalized so that it addresses all the issues pertaining to the relationship between the department and RAL in terms of how they plan to address all the other issues that relate to their mandates. What makes it difficult for the MOU to be finalized in such a manner that it addresses all other issues that you'd want it to address, so that it does not impede implementation by both by most of the department, because it seemingly hinders progress on the part of the department. And on this issue, it also deals with the issue of planning. As and when there is an indication to say that these are issues that need to be addressed, it tells that there was a delay between the department and RAL to ensure that they are able to address those matters, and much more with regard to the MOU. Because if they could have been addressed in advance with all projects that might have been planned for this Q1, obviously we might have seen all of them now flowing. It speaks to issues of planning. The other question I would want to raise, which would relate both to RAL and the department, it's with regard to all targets that have not been achieved in Q1. We are already in Q2. We'll be coming to the close of Q2 not very long. I would want to check I would say maybe the department, both the department and RAL should outline all these issues or these targets that might have been or are already being implemented in Q2, which might assist us, or both the RAL department, in ensuring that they attend to the backlog. This also pertains to issues of the backlog in terms of the budget implementation. I should think if they could outline what's really happening, what is already happening at present, that seems to address all the other issues that might have been failed to be achieved in Q1. And maybe even outline how are you planning in ensuring that these challenges that have showed their ugly heads in Q1 are really attended to, so that they do not disturb proper progress of both RAL and the department? The other question I would want to raise with the department is to say, we appreciate that the department is busy employing people in the province. We really appreciate that. My question in relation to that would be, is this appointment of new people into the department taking into consideration the competencies and expertise that might be a challenge with the people who might be retiring in the near future? Is the present employment also taking that into consideration, that there are a lot of people who are retiring whose skills and competencies might need to be filled by the present horde of employers being brought into the department? Because we might not have a situation wherein we got people employed, but as and when those who are aging are retiring, then as they leave, then we experience a challenge of lack of skills in the department and RAL. The other question that I would want to understand, in the presentation from RAL, of course, there was this indication to say, with regard to the implementation of the AG findings, the challenge of engineering with wherein they spoke about halted projects. Can they clearly outline what are the issues with these halted projects? What are the issues? What are the reasons? Why are the projects halted, that they can be implemented to an extent that they also affect us in dealing with the matters of the findings of the AG? And can we get a sense that something is being done to attend to the challenges that are there, so that we might be seen to be attending to the problem? Because obviously the problem can't resolve itself. It will need the attention of the leadership. And maybe they might also indicate if, with those projects that weren't functional in Q1, if there is an indication to say there are some where they could indicate progress, that there is movement as of present. The other question is with regard to the ZCZ interchange that has been spoken about, to say we might have a problem of monies being taken back to Treasury. We were still at, it's Q2. If we get that sense that at this present moment, we have a sense that some monies might be taken back, how did we budget for that if we've got this understanding that we might have challenges in having it implemented to an extent that we might have monies returning to national. I just want to understand in terms of that. Yeah, no. These are the few questions that I wanted clarity from the leadership. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I think we need to take it back to the MEC to respond. You forgot one. I'm giving you platform. Yes.
I'm sorry, Chairperson, it's about RAL and the annual performance plan, so forgive me for that. In RAL's budget, the annual performance plan for 25-26, I can see that the cost of the employees go up, but all the others go down. Now, if we look at the annual performance plan of RAL and we look at table B5, if I add on all the projects just for this year, it comes to 3.7 billion rand. It's for this year, because it's for 3 years that they have put the information on table B5. I'm worried then this is not valid, especially if we look at on page 60 of that program, the D4 road. Remember when we did the oversight, 2 roads we were promised specifically, the D4 and the 522, that they will be repaired. If I look at this one, the D4, I haven't got allocation only for the 27-28 financial year, which obviously is a big problem because that road, as you know, is very bad. Same with the R522, or what RAL P98/2. That road, they have removed tar on 3 patches. And if I look at this, for this 3 years, then there's no allocation whatsoever at all from RAL's side. So please, that's my last question. Can we please just get an explanation between the budget itself and the table and all the projects listed in the table? And if you look at the table, they speak about upgrading and additions. Now, if I understand correctly, RAL is just supposed to upgrade from gravel to tar, nothing else. Then I don't understand this table, that normally the B5 table that give all the activities of RAL in a specific year. Thank you.
About you, MEC?
Thanks very much, Honorable Chair, and let's appreciate all the questions that have been raised here by our oversight committee that we respect so much. I want to first take this opportunity to ensure the committee that things started moving on a bumpy road for the new financial year, particularly at RAL. However, I can say that thus far, we've also made significant strides in shaping up RAL. All of us, we know where we come from. And the appointments, Chair, of the 21 new roles will assist us to cover a lot of ground as we continue to serve our people, in particular this quarter. Of course, Chair, through your guidance as an oversight committee, which you are accountable to. And also, at the department, the issue of the appointments of new staff are assisting, Chair, to or in strengthening the internal capacity, like we said, even when we started this program. And like I always remind you, Chair, and the committee and the people of this province, that we are proud as the department that in a period of eight months, we managed to appoint more than 350 people permanently. And Just this coming week, I will be also welcoming another 95 that would have appointed permanently. And also on Monday this week, we have advertised another more than 187 posts that were also going to appoint before the end of this financial year, December, January. So I'm saying that Honorable Pukane, because you have raised some worries about the issue of hiring people vis-a-vis those that are retiring, which we have taken into cognition that point. That is why we're trying by all means that our colleagues who have been there in the department, they try by all means to share the skills, especially at the level of road infrastructure. Our colleagues who have been there are trying by all means to share the skills with the new recruits so that as and when they leave, they would have left a mark and also shared those particular skills. So we're taking that into cognition. We really take it serious because our department is having a lot of senior people who most of them are just exiting the system. So we're taking that into cognition. Honorable Pukane, the issue of the MOU, maybe HOD, I don't know whether it's how you have presented it or what, but from our seated, we are done with the MOU. That is why we have even appointed 21 contractors. And if you remember, I came to the committee and share our plans on how to reshape RAL. At some point, I remember that I was seated in this chair and I shared the plan on how are we going to then start doing things at RAL. Like I said, even in the last meeting, that we've taken a decision as the department, yes, working together with the provincial treasurer, that we want to allow RAL to focus on only the upgrading of our gravel roads in the province, from gravel to tar. Because if you look at the regular expenditure that happened there, which contributed more than 50% of the regular expenditure of this province, and also how things were done, that pushed us as the department and as the new administration to try to check how best can we then start to do things. And that's where we also discovered that maybe because the RAL is stretched with work, they are doing maintenance and all that. And hence we also said that it will be not fair for RAL to continue doing maintenance while we have a lot of staff at the department, which is also assisting us with maintenance. That's where we met with Treasury and then look into the matter and come to a conclusion that we then take maintenance back to the department so that RAL can focus on the issue of upgrading of our roads. So it's not like there was a reduction, Honorable Mhlot, of the budget. The fact of the matter is that the budget is still there. It's just that the maintenance budget was then shifted from RAL to the department. And as you know that in the past, there were questions from the committee which was also posed to us about the issue of how we monitor the monies that we transfer to RAL. So by virtue of taking back the maintenance at RAL will also assist us to know what is happening, especially on the part of implementation and all that, because we'll be closer to the processes and all that. So that's where we are. So it does not mean that the budget has now decreased and all that. So on the issue of MAU, I think I've managed to touch on it. If there are other issues technically that maybe my colleagues can come, in particular advocate about the issue of MOU. And the fact that we have taken back the maintenance to RAL, part of the things that are there on the MOU is that in the meantime, when the department is still advertising their own panel to can then assist us with dealing with maintenance, then RAL will be implemented, in particular this financial day. But going forward, the department will be having its own panel of contractors. And I'm told the HOD, if I'm not mistaken, you have advertised that to deal with what we have agreed in the MOU. On the St. Agnes, I think my colleagues from RAL will just have to come in here because really, Honorable Torres Pukan, I think I'm also worried about how we're doing things. But the fact of the matter is that we're working together with SANRAL on this project. We're working together with SANRAL. And the last briefing that I got from the HOD was that SANRAL is still busy with the professional work and all that, the designs. And so, but really it's unfair. We've been talking about this project for quite some time. Maybe my colleagues will also assist on this one. So the issue of 21 roads, I can assure the committee here without fear of any contradiction that it will help us to push the spending. Hence, we agree that we have not been doing well on the part of road infrastructure. It's mainly because we have not yet appointed the contractors. So, but now that we have appointed these 21 contractors, we know very well that even from the site establishment, we know that more than 100 million will be gone on the budget in 1 month. So we are confident that there is no money, Chair, that will be taken back to Treasury, especially on the road infrastructure. That one I can assure you because it's part of my service performance agreement with the Honorable Premier and also the church that deployed me here. So on that one, I'm very clear on the colleagues. HOD knows very well that before I can go, maybe might have go before me, because that one is just they totally know that we are not going to agree to. We are having a total stretch of 21 kilometers in the province, and out of that 13,000 remains gravel, and then we allow people to take back the money to National Treasury. We are not going to allow that. So we'll closely monitor the situation, but in terms of the projections that they show me, I'm confident seated here that we'll be able to then spend. On the issue of the reduction of budget, I think I've managed to deal with this one. On the issue of the mandate, I've also touched on it, that what we are going to do as the department and what RAL is going to do. On the Repeal Act, the repeal of the RAL Act, I'll request Advocate Bilangulu to also touch on it. HOD, on the issue of the information that was requested here by Honorable Helm, I think you just have to tell me together with the CEO actually what are you trying to do, because I've been reminding you about this issue. I've requested you several times about the information that Honorable Helm has requested. So maybe you'll tell me what need to happen from here. But the fact of the matter is that information, we just have to get. I don't know what's the problem of just going and get information. So some of the things is that just show that people are not taking their work serious and are not going to allow that. That one I can assure you. We're not going to allow that because this information, like Honorable Helm said, will assist to share with the communities that are in need of the information. It's not even saying to you, can you implement this project without, it's just asking for an information. So, Chair, that one I can assure you that we are going to see how best can we deal with it. It's not going to be allowed. It can be when I'm respecting the oversight committee and there are people who just think that things are just going to happen like this. On the issue of penalties, I think they will also try to touch on it and see. We'll just see how best can we deal with that. So with that being said, Chair, please allow me to give the HOD to touch on technical issues here and then also allow colleagues from RAL and the advocate to also respond to other issues that have been raised here by honorable members. Thanks.
No, thanks very much, Honorable MEC. I think MEC has covered most of the responses by by the department from spending, and I think even on the targets that we'll be looking at this very closely as the department, given the areas where we did not achieve, and so that we can be able to improve there. But on the outstanding information, Honorable MEC, I think we'll give over to the CEO and also the chair of the board, if you will want to come in there. It's just those two issues that MEC wanted us to talk to.
No, thanks. Maybe CEO, you can also touch on D4 because I know that is the progress on that. I forgot to respond to it, but I know that there's a progress on that and very soon it's going to be taken care of. HOD, you can just give it.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. Good mornings to the chairperson of the committee, and good morning once more to the members of the committee. Just to answer on the D4 side, D4 from N1 to Elim site, we are appointing a contractor using PRMG for the maintenance. That is part of the agreement that we have with the department that as an implementing agent will be working on their behalf. We are going to make sure, because we have realized that road is critical. If you look at that, we started from the Malamulele site coming towards Elim. But now recently we realized from N1 to Elim, it's becoming more and more. So we need to an urgent intervention. We have budgeted for that road. Hopefully, as we finish with the introduction of the 21 projects that the Honorable MEC is moving from district to district, we will be then announcing the appointments of the contractors that will be dealing with the maintenance of those roads. With regard to R522, Makado to Vivo, Honorable Ham, we went and inspected the road ourselves, and we know the inconvenience, and that again, it has been funded. We will be appointing a contractor on that one as well. We want this time not to make a mistake, that the contractor that is appointed, if you remember, there was a contractor that was appointed and he made a mess of the road, and when we had to terminate. Now we're going to appoint somebody who's going to go in there, make sure that the road is complete and complete within the budget and within time. I need to maybe perhaps, Honorable Helm, apologize on behalf of the agency. We have been working with the department on the responses of especially of the roads that you sent to us. There was a bit of a delay in terms of the information, especially on some of the roads. So we didn't want to give you a half-cooked banana. We wanted to give you a fully cooked banana, but I will make it a point that you get the report ASAP as soon as we get. The reason why we wanted to give you, we want to be factual. We don't want to lie to members and say the situation on this particular road is XYZ when it is WPY, you see. And we don't want people to go on Google Maps and download the pictures from Google Maps. I want them to go physically, take pictures, write a report, and the report must include a solution. Because if we write a report to you as a member of parliament, what is it that we are expecting you to do when we don't give you a solution? And the solution must be practical. We don't need to find ourselves overcommitting. When there are no funds, we will say, RAL does not have funds at the moment, but we are working on an alternative. Hence, we need to be factual in our reporting. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jonas Bilankulu. I'm the Director responsible for legal services in the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure. I will talk to the question about the mandate of the department. Yes, the honorable member said it verbatim that in terms of the RAL Act, the functions or duties relating to provincial roads vest with RAL. But you will remember that according to the Constitution, the provincial roads responsibility lies with the provincial government, which is the department. So, but upon the establishment of the RAL Act, RAL was established in the sense that it will take all the responsibilities relating to the roads function in the province. So, but what is happening now, because most of the roads are in the province, in the district level, where the functions have to be done more especially in terms of the maintenance, which the department is doing. RAL is allowed in terms of the RAL Act to enter into agreements with other entities. So what we are doing, we signed the MOU. The MOU as it stands, it is flexible in such a way that it allows the department and RAL at any time to do all the functions relating to the road functions. So like the MEC has indicated that we are dealing with the upgrade in RAL and the maintenance in the department. This is specifically to deal with the issue of attending to those roads maintenance functions that are there in the district. So that is the fact. And as the honorable member quoted it correctly to say the functions of RAL are within the meaning of government policy. You will know that in the past few years, there have been several studies by the Executive Council about the existence of RAL. There have been Executive Council resolutions that were taken and were halted for implementation. But currently, the mandate or the EXCO decision is that the RAL Act should be repealed, meaning that it must be cancelled at all and replaced by a new act. So the process is going on. We have made a draft and a policy document, sent it to the state law advisors in the office of the Premier. They looked at it and sent it back to say we need to deal with 1, 2, 3, so that it be clear in terms of what should be done at RAL and what should be done in the department. So the process is going on, and that's where we are. So I will not deal much with the issue of the MOU because the MEC and the HOD have spoken to that, but I can say that it is flexible to allow the department and RAL to work together. Thank you.
Maybe before, Chair, can the acting CEO of RAL, especially on the issue of the reports, not speak English? We want time frames, because this is not like this is a new matter. I've been getting this report that is saying and all that. You must now commit to the committee, or when are we going to get that report? Whether it's next week Friday or in 2 weeks, but there must be time frame. There's nothing called ASP here. We're not in a talk show, CEO. Tell us the time frame, because we've been requesting this report. Can you tell us the time frame, please?
Thank you, Honorable MEC. Honorable Chair, my team has just confirmed that by next week, Monday, the report will be ready. And we will forward it to the office of the MEC, follow the proper channel to Honorable Help.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. My name is Abraham Cheo, Chief Director for EPWP. I am asked to deal with a question that talks to full-time equivalent. Full-time equivalent means a number of days that a person can work in a year. So in a year, let's say we've got 365 days, but working days are calculated to be 230. This is less weekends, less holidays, and also less leave days. So if we have been able to work in a year for 230 days, then this qualifies it to be regarded as full-time equivalent. The simplest example I can give is that when one has worked for 12 months, that is full-time equivalent. And also, in terms of the technicalities around it, when you want to achieve it, you can achieve it in every duration of the project, just the way you calculate it. You times the number of people by the duration of a project or days, and then you divide that by 230, then it will give you full-time equivalent. Thank you very much.
Do you have something?
Yeah, thanks, Honorable MEC, Chair, and the honorable members. Just to deal with few issues that have been raised as well by the honorable members. I think I must indicate, Honorable MEC and Honorable Chair, that the 21 projects that we're implementing only translates to 25% of the completed designs, because we are faced with the situation of 84 designs in the whole province. So it translates to 25%. I'm raising this thing because our attitude has been to try as much as we can to push the completed designs than venturing into new ones. Because these designs ultimately, I think we've raised this aspect, they expire in the long run, and you are then forced to come up with new ones. So as of now, we are only implementing 25% of the completed and approved designs. The second one relates to the issue of under expenditure, Honorable Poka. We have finished the whole budget that we have been given last year. When we were given some money to supplement the little that we had then, we were made, of course, through our Honorable MEC to put our heads on the block that we have the capacity to finish the budget. We did live up to that commitment. We finished the budget. We did not underspend in that respect. The last one relates to the halted or the abandoned projects. I think this one was as well raised by Honorable Pokwan. That also talks to the issue of the AG matters. I must indicate that almost all the issues that have been raised by the AG are historical matters. The Honorable MEC did talk to the 1.3 billion and the 9 billion regular expenditure. And there was no way the agency can clear all these issues in one financial year. there is a process that we have put in place to attend to all the matters as read by the AG. We have successfully managed to get almost 4 billion condoned by Treasury. So the AG appreciates the work that we are doing in that respect, and they are confident that going forward we'll be able to get out of the situation that we are faced with. Just to share with the honorable members, this is what the AG is saying, it's not ourselves. In addressing the irregular expenditure, the entity appointed a service provider to investigate the irregular expenditure, which was completed on the 9th of December 2024. A forensic investigation company was also appointed on 25 March 2025 to investigate commitment and possible financial misconduct. The second last paragraph says the findings of video investigation report issued on 24 May were implemented by 30 November 2024 by the Interim Accounting Authority, and action was taken against employees who are still in the employ of the state. Employees were reprimanded through warning letters. As part of consequence management, the former CEO was dismissed, the CEO found guilty, and was sanctioned with 3 months without pay. This is what the AG is acknowledging, the efforts that the agency has undertaken to attend to the historical issues that I have spoken about. Thanks, Honorable MEC. I just thought I need to clear these aspects to indicate where we are with regard to some of the issues that have been raised. Thanks, Honorable MEC.
No, thanks, and that's our responses, Honorable Chair, and back to you and the committee members.
Thank you, MEC, and the HOD, and his entourage. You were able to respond to the issues as raised by honorable members. Now, as I go back to the honorable members, maybe in case they have follow-up, questions or comments, we should indicate MEC and the HOD that yes, we now understand how the department actually is performing in this quarter, performed in this quarter. But the portfolio committee is urging the department to address the overall performance, because with 64% success rate, we think the program is underperforming. In particular, the program for your road infrastructure. I was also checking the budget here, HOD, that a slight decline as compared to the last quarter. It's a cause for concern to us as the portfolio committee that you need to turn the situation around, because moving forward, we'll expect to make sure that the department, once you have the targets, those targets should be met as the department. It's very critical. Now, with the RAL chairperson Tseli, the roads that were raised by Honorable Helm, the D4 route and the R522, the Vivo route, we were together there when we were, on oversight. The issue of the outstanding matters in relation to the MMMEs, it compels us, actually we made commitment that the new contractor that we are going to appoint in terms of the budget, those matters should be included. The outstanding matters regarding the CMMCU, I know you know them. With regard to D4 road, we appreciate that the CEO is indicating that very soon there will be, some dust there. There'll be, you're starting with the work, starting from the N1. Like we've made commitment to the stakeholders. The same applies to, I don't know the number of that road, from Mashamba up. That one, SEO, to Amulima. We also made commitment. Now currently, we are assisting with the graveling to make sure that road continue to be drivable. That's the commitment that we made with the committee. But to say very soon, we'll also make sure that we should extend in terms of the rehabilitation of that road. But not actually 100%, because we have already upfront indicated our budget constraints. So, and then lastly, MEC, one thing that the portfolio committee is requesting from you is the list of those 21 road projects and their contractors. It's very critical. When we're discussing among ourselves, we say, no, we must actually raise it with the MEC so that we be, favored with that list. Then, lastly, from me, Chair, we should appreciate the strides that the RAL has made so far. Also to deal with the irregular expenditure. Remember the issue of the irregular expenditure, where you even apply to the treasury for condonment. We should appreciate chairperson of RAL. Just continue, because now I think we had a very good start, given the audit opinion. Yes, we could see there is light at the end of the tunnel. So now, and we said as the portfolio committee, we are going to measure your performance, on the basis of this financial year going forward, from now going forward. And also to applaud you for the work that we have done after that serious mess that was done by the previous administration. So now I'm coming back to the honorable members, the last batch maybe of questions. I'll start with Honorable Majomane, Honorable Machete, Honorable Helm, and then Pokwane, you'll be the last.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings once more to you, our MEC Phakana Hlabirwa, and the entire committee from the department, the staff Sarena. Without any waste of time, my question is based on Raleigh. It's just that I want to know that what is the plan to respond to a achievement of the performance targets? What is your plan to enhance own revenue on that? It's just my question, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Jamane. Honorable Machete.
No, thanks, Chairperson. Let me just start by appreciating that the work that we have been wanting to see finding expression in government, it's able one way or another to find that in the running of the department. And that must be appreciated. And I understand that we all know that we have made a commitment for job plans. And if the department is running in that regard and there's opportunities that are created, we must be able to appreciate, because our commitments are able to find expression in government. I think you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. So it's a very serious appreciation that we should be able to make. But on the two questions that I have is that when the old guard exits, the new guard comes in. And I think it's in relation to the issue of how do we measure the skills that the old guards have and what we are bringing with the new guards. I'm bringing this element because it was touched by Honorable Pogani, and an answer was provided in that regard. And I would want to believe that the assumption will not be that we will not take into consideration what is prevailing now, specifically in terms of specialized work. That where there is speciality, the normal process will follow and the right candidate is to be appointed, and so that that speciality is able to be carried forward. And I would want to understand the response of the MEC that it was not meant to say that we will then match what we have as new guards and they will get training and so on. I'm adding a factor that on specialized areas, we will have to get special people because we understand the nature of the department. And I think that is the part that I'm adding, while agreeing with what the MEC may have raised. So I think you could also give a sense in terms of how do you deal with regard to those special areas. Two would be the part that was also covered, but I just want to enhance the question. Because there is a sense that there are projects that were halted and which has a negative impact on the communities. Because remember, all of us as seated here were to ensure that we are able to give deliverables to the people who are the most important stakeholder in our democracy. So I just want to check what could be the tangible interventions that are put in place to unlock that, so that even if we are to meet again, at least we would know that there was a challenge, but that challenge there was an intervention, and this intervention has been carried, and the communities are able to get services, not only services but quality services, as we have said as part of our commitment, some of us who are seated here. These are the two enhancement questions that I wanted to add. Thanks very much.
When you left, you were raising, do you have a follow-up question or you are covered? Because this is the last batch. Are you covered? Okay, it means after the helm, then Pokwane and yourself, then we close.
Thank you, Chair. Just a follow-up question on the road from Okado towards Vivo. There's actually mention of two in your B5 report. The one is the T1256C project, but you only budgeted for that one in the 26-27 budget. And then there's another one for the same road, the T1256B project, and there's no budget at all, not in the next 3 years. So I want to know where will the money coming from, whether it's coming from the department to fix that 522 road, but it's because it's not enrolled. And then as far as the D4 road is concerned, the only budget that I could find is in the 2027-28 financial year. So I need to understand where the money will come from because it's not on the this table. And then my last question for today is, the CEO is acting for a long time. When will we see a permanent appointment in that position? Thank you.
No, thanks, Chair. Let me appreciate the responses as provided by the MEC and his team, inclusive of the chairperson of the Board of RAL. With regard to the issue of the MOU that I raised, MEC, it's pertaining to the non-achievement of some targets there with regard to road rehabilitation and road resurfacing, where it seems there is the challenges attributed to the implementation of the MOU. No wonder I was raising this issue of the MOU. What could be the challenge with the MOU that would have led to the failure to achieve what the department planned to achieve? Is there any real issue there around the MOU that really impacted on the achievement of that target, or are there other issues? I should think another issue, the question that we raised with regard to the ZCZ interchange, of which the MEC also wanted to get clarity, was not responded to. What are the issues there? Maybe to further enhance the enhancement made by my colleague here with regard to the issue of the halted projects. Maybe we might need to just to get a brief report in terms of those projects that have been halted. I appreciate the response as given by the chairperson of the board related to that, indicating that there are some issues that are being done there. Of course, that's the clarity that we sought in terms of our understanding of what these issues are with regard to the AG findings that are not being implemented. At least we get a sense of what is happening, but I should think we would be in a better position, have a better understanding, if we might have just a report in terms of those halted projects, so that we might have an understanding what's happening with them, what's really happening, what is it that RAL is presently doing in order to unlock. Because in the presentation there was a mention in passing of some projects that having experienced depleted funds. So I should think it must come clearer what these projects are, what are the issues, so that at least we don't, when we come across this kind of issues in the oncoming reports, we don't continue raising them, because we would have had clarity on them. Thanks, Chair.
No, thanks, Chair. The question that I raised of interest paid on overdue, it was not answered. And the other issue, Chair, when I raised the issue of the reduction of budget allocation, it was on the basis of page 4 of 14 in the presentation, program number 4 of road infrastructure. So my question was due to the budget allocation of 2024-2025, because the budget was 4.019, and the budget now, as we speak, of 2025-2026 is 36,31,548. So there is a decrease, Honorable Chair, of 388,437, of which is minus 9.66%. So my question was on the basis that the previous financial year, the budget was on 4 and now there is a decrease. Is that not a problem, considering the backlog that we are having now? I'm happy because the MEC responded, but there is a decrease. And the question is it not, to us, it's not a good thing? Because last year, the money was up, now it's down. Due to this, considering the table that we were finished with. So it is a challenge, Chair. It is a challenge. That decrease was not supposed to be. The compromises were supposed to be other programs, but not road and infrastructure. Thanks.
So those are the questions. Oh, of course, it's very clear. What is not good for us at the portfolio committee cannot be good for the department, in particular in relation to the monies that are supposed to be spent to actually the backlog that we have to address the issue of road infrastructure. Over to you, MEC.
Thanks very much, Honorable Chair, and let's appreciate this opportunity again and welcome all the inputs and comments as raised here by honorable members. And we are taking it in a more positive manner, and Honorable Chair and honorable members. And management, I think, here is also learning that our oversight committee, HOD and the chair of RAL, mean business, and we, all of us, we all account here, and we fully, Chair, were fully committed to serve the people of this province. Maybe just to touch on issues that were raised here before I can give it to the HOD. Let me just share with the committee, especially on the issue. There was an issue of the acting CEO that we have advertised the post of the CEO and that of the company secretary. And I think it has been 2 weeks now on advert. And this weekend we will be advertising more posts at RAL, your engineering and others, including the internships. We got an approval of 28 million from Treasury to advertise our posts. So as part of also strengthening the capacity of RAL, we'll be advertising those particular posts. All of them will be advertised this weekend, but the CEO post and the company secretary is already there. So we'll be filling that particular post, Honorable Chair. I think on the issue of 21 projects and contractors, that one we are just going to furnish the committee with it. I think that is readily available. It's just to go and print and give it to the committee. We are going to do that. But also, there's an indication from the portfolio committee of getting a report, Chair of RAL, about all the halted projects. Because seated here, I know that they are there, but in terms of the reasons are differ from one project to the other. But also we've done something about the halted projects. For example, the Mavunga road, it was halted. We managed to unlock it ourselves, and just last week we managed to also unlock, together with the Honorable Premier, we also managed to unlock the Moribeng road. So there's something that we're doing on the halted projects, but we'll also furnish you with the reports of all of them, including the reasons because we know that they differ. So we'll be able to furnish the committee with that. And on the issue raised here by Honorable Machete, especially on the speciality, I think we've also taken counsel on that. But what we can assure you is that we're trying by all means to get the best of the best. Like for now, I just shared with the committee that this week we have advertised that we have issued another circular. So I've also noticed that there are greater operators, 16 of them, that we are going to be getting through that recruitment of this current circular. And you know very well that before we can get you as a greater operator, we would have also taken you through to practicals to know whether you are a real greater operator or you are just a bogus. So we'll be making sure that we take that into cognition, Honorable Machete. I think on the other issues that are that have been raised here by honorable members, the technical ones in part, I will then allow the HOD, but also can you respond, colleagues, on the issue of St. Agnes interchange? There was nothing that was said here, and then we also need the clarity on that. But also, we've also noted what you have raised, Honorable Hloti, especially on the decline and all. Seriously check that and see how best can we improve, especially on this current court. HOD?
No, thank you very much, Honorable MEC, and the Honorable Chair and the Honorable members. I'll only talk to the two issues, Honorable MEC, on the MOU, as is cited in our performance, to say, and maybe let me then just go a step back so that maybe we can all be at the same level here. That as the Department of Public Works, we were planning to implement, because the PRMG by its nature, it belongs to the Department of Public Works because it's for roads maintenance. And that is the budget that we took from Roads Agency Limpopo. And after then the budget was in our baseline, our panel for contractors has only gone out now. As the department, CFO, is it out already? Yeah. Our panel for contractors is only out now. And then we had to then ask RAL to assist us because they were already finalizing their panel to implement some of the projects for us. And hence, we continually saying that for the first quarter, we were working on this MOU that has since been signed. And after it was signed, we had to then appoint, and hence we have now appointed these 21 contractors, but they are also appointed from the 25% of the PRMG, because that's the background that I was also trying to give, to say, for the upgrades in the province, we only have less than 400 million in the budget. And there are these needs that we are supposed to implement. Hence, we then had to go back to our PRMG and get that 25% as it is allowed. But for us to ask RAL to assist us to upgrade the roads, we had firstly to sign that because the budget is with us. And hence the MOU is only addressing that part. And the delay was on that for the first quarter, and hence we are there. But now the MOU is up and running, and we are now appointing. And the 400 million or less than 400 million for upgrades that is sitting in the RAL budget, already that has been allocated to the projects that are already running. That means the province was not going to be in a position to even implement one single new road if we didn't then go back to that 25% of the PRMG to assist us with this. But on the reduction of the total budget, Honorable MEC, now that I think we now understand the question better. Last financial year, we had additional allocations, and they were mainly ones-off, like the disaster funding. We received close to 400 million in the budget in the last financial year. And there were instances whereby our budget was topped up in the last financial year. That's something that you cannot budget for over the MTF, and they are now stripped out. In fact, what we see now is our actual baseline because of those ones-offs that we're supposed to deal with in the last financial year. But our allocation as it is, I mean, provincially and everyone else, we know that the backlog is much more than what is in our allocations. But I was just explaining why then there was that reduction. It is because of the adjustment budget of the top-up in the last financial year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, HOD. Honorable MEC has already answered a number of questions raised by members. I will just clarify on two issues. The first one is the issue of Honorable Helm. R52, it's coming from the PRMG of the department, so that is why it would not appear there on our table B5. That's the one that we are going to be implementing from that point. And then the other one is the one that will be coming from us going forward. With regard to the 125 million for the ZCC interchange, RAL is partnering with SANRAL. They are bringing 125, we are bringing 125, but it's implemented by SANRAL. So their process of appointing a contractor took a knock, and they are looking at probably around November or December, thereabout, to appoint a contractor. But to play safe, because we have already budgeted for it, you can't touch until you know what is happening. Well, before you even go and ask for reprioritization, because it has been reprioritized before, you hang on to it. It's something that ourselves, together with the department, have been engaging on. Depending on what the outcome of SANRAL is, once they say they have got a contractor on site, the modality of who pays first, whether it's them or us, will kick in, and then we will take it from there. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Over to you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, MEC, for those responses. Also to appreciate the HOD and your team and the manner in which you have responded to the questions that's raised by honorable members. Oh, okay. My last comment. Okay, now let me give you that platform.
No, thanks, Chair. We appreciate the responses given. But on the response given by the HOD with regard to the MOU, I'm saying the implementation of the MOU shouldn't be a problem if the MOU is there. The problem would be if the MOU is signed late for the implementation of the project in Q1. So we should be able to say, no, there was a delay in the signing of the MOU. Because if the MOU is there, the challenge of contractors from the department could not be a challenge because they will use and utilize the contractors from RAL on the basis of the MOU. That's basically what I wanted to indicate, Chair. Thanks.
Okay, I think you got it. Okay. No, it's well captured. Because what we need for us is to make sure that the program is running, implementation of the road project. There should not be any impediment. So that's what we want. MEC, let me... okay. I'm really amenable to accommodate you.
Chairperson, we are not yet answered the interest paid on overdue, because we are going to come back here, Chairperson, and discuss about the wasteful expenditure. Because at the end, this thing is going to go to wasteful, it will be piling. Then it will come here as wasteful expenditure. So can we be clarified? Who is going to pay? Because there must be something done so that this must not incur in our next the next quarter. Thanks.
Okay. Is it well captured? No, can you respond to that?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members, Honorable MEC, HOD, Chairperson of the Board, CEO, colleagues. My name is Mahla Sedi Mhlabane, the CFO for the Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure. The interest that we normally pay, Chair and Honorable Members, is on accounts that we're paying towards ESCOM. And I indicated in one of our meetings previously to say, as a Department of Public Works, Roads and Infrastructure, we are responsible for paying ESCOM accounts, especially for the Libahomo Government Complex. And that account by ESCOM is classified as a large account. Now, ESCOM has classified that account as such, and they're expecting us to pay within 7 days, and it's not possible. And unfortunately, I missed the last meeting that the Provincial Treasury arranged with ESCOM. It was now during the audit. We'll get feedback from that meeting in our next CFO's forum. Because as a department, it means we'll forever incur this interest on the ESCOM account because we will not be in a position to pay them within 7 days of receipt of their invoices for the large accounts. Thanks, Chair.
Oh, thank you very much. Well answered. I was just saying, MEC, we appreciate your commitment. Every time when you are invited, you come through. And one area where we need to applaud you is in terms of job opportunities. The manner in which you are running, really, you continue to raise the flag, MEC. And that is one of the milestones for the Limpopo Provincial Development Plan, economic growth and job creation. So we applaud you in that regard. The issue of the acting positions, we urge the MEC and the HOD, we just are pleading not only the acting position of the CEO, other acting positions. We plead with you to make sure that all those positions, acting, no, we must embark upon the recruitment process so that those positions are filled. So we have come to the end of our meeting. We also want to appreciate the manner in which the MEC and the department, your prompt response to matters as raised. See, in each and every meeting, you are able to present to us progress report. Could see there are some limitations there that we have just raised in terms of your targets that are not met. When you go back, make sure that those issues are corrected, because we want to make sure that service delivery is not compromised. Our people should get service. That is why we're here. We're here as public representatives, representing the people out there. Every time when we meet with them, they'll raise these issues, in particular the road infrastructure, what is happening. And we are appreciating also MEC, the manner in which you have developed this program of handing over the project. You go to the interface with the stakeholders, yourself and also including RAL. So we do appreciate. So the people are now starting to see, something on the ground. Or really, this is the government that we have actually elected. They are representing us. They are coming to us also to respond. Also, be consistent, MEC, with regard to that program Tuesday. Interaction with the stakeholders. Yes, stakeholders forum. It is doing some wonders on the ground. We are getting it from the communities. They say, no. We are able to be clarified. We are able to get information, time. So in other words, it helps us to make sure that it actually quell these issues of protest across the province. That is why now we could see it's very quiet, and they are appreciating the government. So in those few words, I say we have come to the end of our meeting, and thank you all very much, including our also staff compliment the work that you are doing to complement our work. We do appreciate. 7, and also in terms of the time. We have complied, MEC. You still have enough time. Yeah. Item 7, coordinator. Item 7.
Thank you, Chairperson. On my side, just the announcement that lunch will be served in the foyer. And have a great day once the Chairperson releases everyone.
Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.